Hi, this is Richard Jacobs with Speakeasy Marketing. Today I've got a really interesting and insightful correlation that just come up. Literally just got off the phone with my wife and teaching my son science as part of his homework. So my son had to do spelling, he's got to write out sentences, he's got to do science, of course, he's got to learn vocabulary, he's got to do a whole bunch of things. So my wife is teaching him distillation. She has a pot of salt water. She's heating it up, and there's a lid kind of sitting like this. And the end of the lid, there's a pan below it. And so what's happening is the water is boiling up the salt water. It's hitting the lid, condensing and going down, and then dripping into this pan. And what's going to happen at the end of the exercise is that the salt and the water will be left behind in the pan that's being heated up, and the pure water will have been distilled and sitting in the pan next to it. Okay, basic science experiment. But as we were talking about this, my wife had the idea to have my son, read the book that's talking about the science experiment. So he's getting his reading in and his reading comprehension. He's also learning science. But we're also having him write out the sentences that he's reading in the book. And that's actually his sentence writing. So he's learning writing as well, and he's learning science, and he's learning reading comprehension, and there's a few words in there he doesn't understand. So we're having him look those up as vocabulary words. Okay? So a couple things I noticed from this, which is really cool, and I'm going to show you how it's applicable to you as an attorney. So we've taken one thing and we've spliced it up into 4 or 5 different things that he's going to get the benefit from, just from this one thing. The second thing is that he's going to essentially see this in 5 or 6 different ways. So he's really going to know this material deeply because of all the different ways he's using it. Third, by repurposing this one thing, we're getting so much more out of the experience than just looking at something or just watching something or just reading something alone. So it's this repurposing that's multiplying the effectiveness of what he's going to get out of it. Okay, I just thought it was really, really cool. Much better way to learn stuff. It's like going over it 4 or 5 times without going over it 4 or 5 times and being bored by it. So now, how can we do this in your law practice? Now, in terms of marketing, what we can do and what we do at Speakeasy Marketing is we'll do like a phone interview, and we'll do basic Q&A on a practice area. So this does a whole bunch of things and can be repurposed in a whole bunch of ways. So a 1-hour phone interview we've seen turns into about 15 to 20 articles once you transcribe them and put them on your website. So it gives you a ton of content, okay? Great for SEO. We also take the audio and we split it into a whole series of 1 question, 1 answer audios. And these audios can go in various places on your website for people to listen to. They can be emailed as an attachment so people can get more information by listening to you. They can be put on a phone message. Another way to repurpose them is we're now taking these audios and we're putting a video component on top of it. So as the words are being spoken in the audio, words are coming up on the screen, and this makes a video. So now the same content again can go into YouTube and become a video in a 1 question, 1 answer format. It's again repurposed, same stuff, and now it goes out as videos and increases your exposure on the web. Again, very cool. We're not done yet. A 1-hour call can also be turned into a book that you are the author of, a 50-page book on a given practice area. And I'm sure you're familiar with our Speak a Book program, how we help attorneys author a book in an hour. This is how we do it. So that same content gets repurposed again, and now it can become a book that can go on your website. It can go on Amazon and Kindle. It can be emailed to people as a PDF. It can be gotten physically, as a printed book and handed or mailed out to people. So from 1 call, from 1 hour of your time, look at all the things that can be done. Amazing. There's actually still more. If you take this content and you chop it up and you send out little snippets of it onto Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all that, now you've got a social media component where you're teaching people stuff. The same content, again, gets repurposed another time. So think about it. What if everything you did was multiplied 5, 6, 7 different ways? You'd eventually end up with a lot of really great stuff, and you wouldn't have to expend tons of effort to do it. Okay? Take for example this video. I'm doing this video for you, right? Well, it's not just for one person. Yes, I am speaking to you, but there's more than one person that will see this video. So I'm multiplying myself by doing it. I realize that every time I do a video, it gets multiplied, and I don't have to do this specific video again, and dozens, hundreds, even thousands of people can see it. So I want you to think about that in your law practice. What can be repurposed? How can you multiply yourself without having to do everything yourself? Think about my son's science experiment. Think about this repurposing of content, and I know it's going to help you. Think deeply about it. You'll get a lot of mileage at it. Repurpose what I'm saying for your firm. If you want to talk further about marketing or engage us or find out more about Speakeasy, go to speakeasymarketinginc.com or call 888-225-8594. Thanks and take care.